Alright, hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Casey, and today I have a reading for you guys just about what do you need to hear right now. So this could be a range of things. For some people this might be about career, for others it could be relationships, romance, or just a general message of what you need to hear right now to make you feel a little better. I try to make these messages as positive as possible so like you hear good things, but if there's something you need to be warned about, that may come through, and I can't promise that that'll be very positive if that's the case for you. But today I have these three piles for you to choose from. We have frustration, faith, and growth. So feel free, take some time, look at the cards, figure out which pile you feel most drawn to. I've left timestamps down in the description box below so you can quickly hop to whichever pile you're meant for. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, pile one. If you chose the frustration card, first of all, I'm gonna fix up these cards. So if you're like, oh my god, what is going on here? My reading's off to a bad start. No, I just kind of wanted to talk to you while I'm setting up the cards because I had a lot of different thoughts coming to me as I was getting the cards out. So you obviously chose the frustration card, which, if that gives me any insight into your mindset right now, well, obviously you're frustrated. And so when I was getting cards out, trying to get an idea of what it might be that you're frustrated about, I have all these positive cards like the World, the Ten of Cups, which is, the Ten of Cups, if you don't know tarot, is often called like the Happy Family card. And then the Happy Family card is clarified by love and abundance, and the World is clarified by confidence. So I'm like, okay, this person is obviously, everything seems pretty stable, everything like seems like they've got all these good things going for them, so then why are they so frustrated? And what I think for that is you have this Five of Wands reversed, clarified by stop. And I feel like, well, the Five of Wands card is usually the conflict card. And with it reversed, I feel like you're having trouble getting rid of these conflicts that have arisen. And I feel like you feel frustrated because I feel like you've gotten to a point in your life where, you know, you have the family, maybe you have like your partner is really supportive, maybe you have children, or things are just going really well, you have a great friend group, and you know, everything in your life seems like it should feel really good, but for some reason you're feeling a little bit dissatisfied and frustrated about something. And something that kind of came to mind, because I got some extra clarification, you were only supposed to have 6 cards, and you have 2, 4, 6, plus 4, 10 cards? Oh my god, I'm not very good at math. This is why I'm doing tarot. Just kidding. But yeah, so I got the extra clarification with the star card, and this card is about hopes, and then the clarification for that was strength and success. So I feel like you're at this point in your life where you're feeling like everything should feel like completed, you have everything that you could want, maybe it's a good job, good family, good friends. Like on the outside it seems like you're doing great. It seems like you have a lot going for you, but you're having this kind of internal conflict. And what I think that this internal conflict is I feel like you're trying to, or at least you've been wanting to branch out into something new, something kind of different from what you've been doing, because you're kind of searching for something more. I feel like you should feel fulfilled now that you're at this place in life where you have everything that most people want, but for some reason, a part of you is still wanting more. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, I'm not saying that you're dissatisfied, you have everything, you should be happy. It's like you were expecting this to make you feel completely fulfilled. And now you're trying to, I don't know, for some of you, maybe you've been really wanting to start a new hobby. There's a specific place you've been wanting to visit. Maybe it's a specific job that you've been eyeing and possibly wanting to change to, but you feel like you can't quite get that thing that you want. And that's what I think that this conflict is. It's some sort of thing that you're wanting but you can't get. And you're frustrated because you feel like you have everything, you should be satisfied, and yet there's still something more that you're craving. But with regards to the message that I'm meant to tell you, with this kind of conflict in this stop card, first of all, the stop is like, I feel like there's roadblocks getting you to what this thing is that you've been wanting. Like, let's say you've been wanting to start a hobby, for some reason you just don't have the time. Maybe for some reason there's no available spots for whatever thing that you're wanting to do. Whatever it is, there's obstacles in the way. But the message I meant to give you is your wish is basically going to be fulfilled. Like, whatever it is that you're trying to go after, the reason that you've been stopped or there's obstacles is because it wasn't quite the right fit. Like, maybe it seemed like something that you really, really wanted and you're really disappointed that you weren't able to get it, but it's for a good reason, because I see you getting an even better version of that thing. Sorry this sounds so general, but I feel like whoever's choosing pile 1, there's going to be a lot of different things that you guys each are desiring. Like, it's difficult to pin it down to one thing, because for some people this could be like a hobby, it could be a sport you've been wanting to do, it could be a job, it's all over the place. But whatever it is that you've been desiring to have, a specific change you've been wanting to make in your life, something you've been wanting to integrate into your daily routine, it seems like it's unattainable at the moment, but I'm here to tell you that you're simply being denied what wasn't a perfect fit, and what is a perfect fit is right around the corner. Because the star card is all about, your manifestations, your wishes, what it is you desire, your hopes, your dreams, and when it's upright, that's something that you are going to get. And the extra clarification for all your dreams being achieved is success and strength. So obviously you're going to get this thing and it's going to be a great success. You're going to be even more fulfilled. It's going to feel like that missing piece that you've been searching for, even though, from the outside it seems like you have love, you have abundance, you're confident, you're at that point where you have everything, but you're also going to find this missing piece. I see that for you. And with the strength card, I almost feel like, I don't know how to describe it other than it's that missing piece, but it's not like you weren't perfect to begin with. It's not like you needed it to fulfill you, but it's almost like it's something that your soul has been desiring for a while now, and once you achieve it, you're going to realize, maybe it's a lesson that you'll learn, but you're going to realize, oh, this is why I wasn't feeling fulfilled even when I had everything. It's not that everything was necessarily bad or there was something that needed to be fixed. It's just there was something that your soul was kind of searching for, and I do see you finding it. But for whatever reason, you're frustrated because you haven't been able to get this, you haven't been able to achieve it, but it's for a good reason. It's because that wasn't the right spot for you. An example I can think for this, which might not necessarily be for you, because I feel like you might not be in school right now, or at least most of you might not be, but if I had to compare it to like you trying to apply to a college, maybe you really wanted to get in here because you thought, this is the place that I want to study at, this is the place that I want to live, but you get denied and you feel like it's this big roadblock, like this thing that I was wishing for wasn't meant for me. But in reality, it's a good thing that you got denied, because a better school that you might not have even considered then asks you to come to their college, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, thank God I didn't go to that other one. Thank God something put a stop to this so that I could actually go to my dream one. But yeah, I mean, honestly, it seems like everything is kind of going your way. I don't know if you know what like lucky girl syndrome is, but it's this thing that people have been talking about on like self-care things and TikTok and stuff, where it's like, oh, I'm so lucky. But like truly, you seem like a very lucky person, because not only do you have the World card, which is like you're basically at the top of the mountain, you're feeling complete, everything that you've been working towards in life, you've achieved it, you're feeling confident in who you are as a person. But not only that, when it comes to family and friends, relationships, not only do you feel love, but there's abundance. There's, limitless possibility for you. And so I can see that it being frustrating when you feel like you have everything, but there's still something else that you really, really want, and it feels like you can't get it. But trust me when I tell you, whatever it is that this thing is that you've been trying to achieve or gain, you will be getting it. When it's the right time, you will be getting it. When it's the right thing, the right place, your wishes are written in the stars. You are a very lucky person. So if you've recently been feeling frustrated because, well, actually, even just look at this card. Like, this is a great way I could describe it. Like, maybe this thing that you've been trying to work towards was a square hole, or I mean a circle hole, and you're a square peg, and all you need to do is find that perfect square hole so you can actually fit there. And that's why you're frustrated. It's like you're trying to go into this like circle hole when in reality it's not quite meant for you. You're meant to find the thing that is meant for you. So I know that was a really quick one. I think this is the quickest reading I've ever done on YouTube, but I mean, that's like, you only really had that one singular message. It's like, whatever you're frustrated about, not only is it going to get better, but it's going to be like wish fulfillment. Whatever it is that you've been frustrated about not getting, you are going to get it plus 10. So that's all I have to say for you. Like, you're already living this great life. It's only going to get better. So I wish you the best. I hope this resonated. I hope you feel a little bit more confident about what it is that you've been trying to gain here. But yeah, that's all I have to say. I hope this reading was satisfying. I know it was really, really quick, but yeah, that's all I have to say. If you enjoyed your reading, please feel free to like or subscribe, or just check out any of my other videos on my channel. I post about once or twice a week, so you can look forward to those if you want more from me. And if you're looking for personal readings, I do provide those. There's a link in the description box below to my shop. But that's all I have to say. I truly wish you the best in everything that you do. Bye-bye. All right, pile 2. If you chose the Faith card, then this is going to be the reading for you. Now, if you were drawn to the Faith card, I feel like most people that choose this card or have this card showing up in their readings are often going through a spiritual awakening or kind of just like some sort of spiritual journey, because often this card I see for people when they're going through an especially tough time, or they're kind of just letting their intuition or their beliefs and their faiths guide them. This card often also comes out with the flow card, which makes sense that you got it, because I feel like, this is my own personal beliefs, but I feel like life and our journey through life and the lessons that we learn can kind of be summarized as like flowing down a river. And when there's obstacles in our path, as long as we have faith that the river is flowing us in the right direction, it's easy to kind of go around those. So it makes sense that the two of these cards will show up together. So if that sounds like kind of what you're going through, like spiritual awakening, or you're just having a lot of faith in the universe or your guides or whatever God you believe in, then this is probably the pile for you. If it's not, feel free to check out any other pile that you might have been drawn to, or it could just be that this isn't the video for you. But without further ado, I have kind of like 3 separate messages for you today. They kind of like don't really relate to each other, which is a good thing, because it tells me that there's a few things that could be looked at in your life that you might need messages about. And the first one, with this 9 of Wands, makes me think that you've been feeling kind of anxious recently. The 9 of Wands card symbolizes fears, especially things that might be in our head. So you could be going through kind of uncertain times. It could also be like depression, though I feel like that's more like a 10 of Swords kind of card. The Wands really make me feel like you're just feeling kind of down recently. You need a pick-me-up, and that's why with the Faith card, you're kind of reaching out to the universe or your guides, or, you know, praying or whatever, as a way to kind of help you through this time. And something that I wanted to say, which might sound a little odd, is I feel like with this reading, you're almost being rewarded for your faith by being given ways to kind of counterbalance these fears and these negative feelings you're getting. And I'll kind of explain it, because it's almost like what I want to say in this reading is what you need to hear right now is Spirit recognizes the pain that you're going through right now. They recognize the fears that you're feeling, the uncertainties, and they're here to tell you that there is a path out of this for you, that there are just certain things that need to be tweaked or fixed about the way that you think or about the way that you're going about life right now that will allow you to feel better grounded. Because I feel like you are the type of person where if you're not feeling grounded, if you're not feeling connected to spirit, connected to yourself, connected to your emotions, and really feeling present in the moment, you can kind of start feeling like ungrounded. You start feeling all over the place. And I feel like a lot of these fears and pain that you're experiencing right now is because of a lack of being grounded. You're just kind of like floaty all over the place, letting your fears run wild instead of, having control over them. So, the first thing that I want to say with this Nine of Wands is if there's things that you've been resisting out of fear, or there's things that you're really afraid of happening in the future, with this Flow card and the Peace card, I feel like it's telling you the best way to overcome these fears of certain things not working out or you not being able to get what it is that you're working towards. The best way to get over this fear is to just understand that whatever is going to happen that's out of your hands, you don't have control over. But the things that you can control, like the way that you act, the work that you put in for certain things, those are all things that you can have control over. But if you're stressing over things that you can't control, like other people's behaviors or the way that a certain person thinks about you or just certain events in life that we can't control, the only way for you to release those fears is to let go of them and understand that everything happens for a reason. If something is meant to happen, it's going to happen, no matter how much you stress about it, no matter how much you wish it would go another way. If something is meant to happen that's bad, that stresses you out, it's gonna happen. And there's, you can stress about it all you want, but that's not gonna change the end result. Now, I'm not saying that those bad things are going to happen. I mean, on the other side of the spectrum, it's like, if there's no way that you can control something and you're just fearing the worst, and then, the good result happens, then what was even the point of you fearing something if it was just going to be good in the end anyway? Which I know is kind of like, it's easy to say it when you're not dealing with it. Like, I know I'm not dealing with whatever your fears you're going through. It's easy for me to say, like, just don't think about it. But I know it's a lot harder to put that into practice, but the main message that I have to give to you, especially regarding whatever fears and anxieties you're feeling right now, is the only way that you will feel peace is by letting go of a certain outcome that you want, especially when it comes to things that you don't have control over. Because trying to control things that we truly, in the end, don't have any control over is just going to be like the bane of your existence. So basically, flow, have faith. That's the best thing that you can do right now regarding these fears, especially if it's like, I want to say, like, if you're in school or if you're in a job right now and there's a certain thing you've really been wanting. Maybe you are really hoping to get an award for something. Maybe you really need a certain grade in your class and it's all up to like whatever your teacher decides the curve is. That's not something that you can control, so stressing about it until it happens isn't going to change what the end goal is. All you can do is say, I did my best, I did everything that I could, but at this point, it's up to the universe, it's up to, whatever higher power you believe in. And then that's like the only way that you'll be able to find peace, especially with all these anxieties. It's like I know how hard it is because I literally have GAD, general anxiety disorder, so I understand the fears. But all you can do is worry about the things that you can control, the things that you can do. Like, can you reach out to someone else to have a better understanding of what's going on so you have more information at least about, maybe you can, like if you are in school, maybe you can talk to the other students in your class. Maybe if you're at work, you can talk to your colleagues and kind of see if they're feeling the same way, see if they have any information about what it is that you're stressing over. Or if it's like a family issue, maybe you can connect to other family members and see what's their perspective on the situation. But the best thing that you can do is get out of your head, because it's easy to project our own fears onto things and create these ideas of what's the worst thing that can happen, or start worrying about things that truly nobody else is thinking about. Because at the end of the day, it's only in your head. And the only thing that can bring you peace is to stop worrying about what you can't control. Kind of be prepared for the worst, but expect the best. Don't expect the worst, or else you're constantly going to be in pain. So that's what I have to say for this group of cards. It's literally just one card. You still have 2 other messages to go. Moving on to the Queen of Pentacles and confidence. I feel like this card is almost kind of telling to me that if you've been dealing with insecurities and issues regarding confidence with yourself, especially with your self-image, your physical appearance, or just how other people perceive you, the best way that you can kind of counteract that is by finding different ways to incorporate stability into your life. The earth element is all about stability, and I know it's kind of like stupid be like, oh, just meditate, just like journal. People always say that, but truly I feel like a lot of the internal issues that you're facing stem from projection. It's almost like you look in the mirror and you're like, oh my god, everybody thinks that my nose is so big. And nobody has said that to you yet. You are the person that's saying that to you. Like, if somebody walked up to you and they were like, oh my god, your nose is so big, then you have evidence, like somebody has said that. And you know what, maybe somebody said something like that to you in the past. But if you're looking in the mirror and you're worrying that somebody is going to say that to you, the reason you're worrying is because you're saying that to yourself. You are projecting those fears onto yourself, when in reality, I'm gonna be honest, people are so much more fixated on themselves, like 95% of the time, that they don't notice things about other people like that. And if they do, like, who cares? It's like you're letting small things destroy your confidence. You're letting insecurities run free instead of finding ways to control them. And I think a big root cause of these insecurities stems from your own kind of internalized projections or fears, where you bring yourself down first, and then in your mind you're thinking everybody's going to be thinking these same things, when in reality you're the first person to be thinking these things. A good thing that I can kind of compare this to, that I think about every so often, is like men who watch like superhero movies with their wives or their girlfriends, and they look at Captain America and they think in their mind, oh my god, I bet my wife or my girlfriend is thinking about how attractive he is. And then they start feeling insecure, like, god, I wish I looked like them. In reality, like, their wife or girlfriend probably isn't thinking that. For all they know, like, they don't really think Captain America is all that attractive in the first place. But the man has this insecurity because he himself is already thinking these things. When in reality, you don't know if your wife or girlfriend is actually, like, thinking those things about Captain America until she says them out loud. So the same thing could be applied to you with insecurities. If you're looking in the mirror and you're thinking, oh, I bet everybody's gonna think my hair looks bad today, it's because you're telling yourself you think your hair is bad, and automatically everybody else is gonna be thinking that. So if you start off your day by thinking like, okay, are these insecurities just me projecting my own fears of what people might think? Or is it something that somebody already told you today? Because if somebody's already told you it, you have evidence that, like, okay, my insecurities are valid, somebody's actually said this to me. But if, like, you start off your day creating insecurities before anybody has even seen you, it's just, those are the kinds of insecurities that are hardest to let go of because we kind of internally believe them ourselves. But if you can, like, look at those thoughts in your mind and tell yourself, no, I'm just projecting, it might make it a little bit easier to let go of that and kind of build your own confidence up. So what I meant by stability and grounding is not necessarily like physically grounding yourself, but like grounding those thoughts, not allowing your insecurities to run wild, not allowing your own brain to be like so up in the clouds that you're not able to see the reality of the situation, which truly is, like, most people don't even really notice us. Most people, like, okay, think of somebody that you talked to today. What color was their shirt? Like, unless you complimented it or like there was something outstanding about that shirt, you probably don't remember what color their shirt was. Like, okay, did you see your mom this morning or your roommate? What color shirt were they wearing? You probably don't remember because you're too busy thinking about yourself, your own problems, your own issues, your own day, that you didn't notice that. So apply that to other people. Like, they might have seen you and you're worried about how you look, how your voice sounds, the way that you're walking. People don't even remember what color your shirt is. So at the end of the day, those are just certain things that we don't need to be stressed about. Which I know is easy to say, being a third party myself, and like you not actually, not dealing with what you're going through, but I deal with these own insecurities myself, and the only way I can combat them is saying, like, you're just projecting. nobody has like commented on that thing yet, so just like deal with that kind of pain and that insecurity when somebody does comment on it, instead of worrying that people are thinking that constantly. You know what I mean? Okay, sorry, talking a lot. These last cards that we have are the Four of Cups reversed, clarified by anger. So I feel like this could go one of two ways. First of all, I think that you've been really angry at a certain person. And it's either saying the best way to kind of get over this anger that you're feeling towards this person, like this could be a friend that's gossiping, an ex-friend that's gossiping. This could be like, maybe you have a crush on somebody and somebody else likes that person and they know you like that person too, so they're talking behind your back, or it's just somebody trying to tear you down. I think with this message, I kind of have to tell you, like, the best way that you can get over this anger is just ignore this person. Like, just don't give them the time of day, don't even think about them. But also on the flip side, the other way I see this going, for the people that are like, I'm already ignoring this person, like they're just being like a bitch to me 24/7. The other thing that I could say to you is, if you've been ignoring them, it might be time to say something, or like straight up talk to them, be like, dude, why are you saying these things about me? Why are you being such a dick to me? And basically that's what I have to say. It's kind of like, I feel like since this is a general reading, of course, this kind of message can go two ways for people. So if there's somebody in your life that's like really been pissing you off, it could even be like a parent or a family member or a friend. Like, it doesn't necessarily need to be somebody that, you know, has your worst interest in mind, but somebody whose behavior has been kind of pissing you off recently. It might be time to be like, you know, quit ignoring that behavior. It's time for you to talk to them and be like, dude, you need to fix this behavior because it's really been pissing me off lately. And you don't need to approach them with anger. Of course, you could be like, especially if it's somebody that you care about and they care about you and they just don't realize what they're doing, how it's affecting you, you can start things off with being like, hey, I don't know if you've been noticing, but you've been doing this thing and it really doesn't make me feel the greatest. So if possible, could you kind of like do your best to recognize these behaviors and stop them? Because if it is somebody that, you know, you guys do care about each other and they just happen to be doing something that they don't notice is bad, I'm sure they would understand. It just takes time to like bring that to their attention. But if it's the other way around, where you've tried repeatedly to talk to somebody about something and they're just not getting the hint, it's time to just ignore them. It's time to ghost them, get them out of your life. If it's like a person in your friend group or something that has just repeatedly been disrespecting you, and every time you bring it up, it's like nothing changes, it's time to just remove yourself from that friend group. And trust me, if that's a good group of friends, like for example, if you're in a friend group, other people are not going to want to stick around that person. They'd rather leave with you. So that's what I have to say for you. You have definitely quite a few things going on in your life right now, but Spirit or whoever came forward today, before I start these readings, I always say like, spirit guides of pile 2, ancestors, the universe, whoever has their best interest in mind, come forward. Whoever they are for you, they really see you struggling and they want to see you do better, is what I'm getting. Especially with these first two piles, how it's really like, it's all about inner image, insecurities. They want to see you confident, they want to see you happy, but they see how a lot of these fears stem from within you. So if it's possible to like cut out the bad things so that, you know, you don't have these projections, so that insecurities are minimized, so at least you're not talking badly about yourself, that's what they want to see for you. They want to see you healing a bit because they do truly love and care about you, and they want to see you succeed. And I want to see you succeed too. So yeah, especially if like whoever this bad person is with this last pile, like if they are contributing to these insecurities and they're the type of person to like kind of like throw shade towards you and like say little things like offhand to make you feel insecure, that's not the kind of person that you want in your life. So if it's somebody worth keeping around, talk to them about it and they'll understand. But if it's just like somebody you truly don't care about and you would be fine if they suddenly dropped off the face of the planet, just cut them out of your life, because those aren't the kind of people that we want to keep around. But pile 2, that is everything that I have to say to you today. I hope it resonated. I hope it helped. If you enjoyed this video, please think about leaving a like or subscribing. It helps me out a ton. Or just feel free to check out any of the other videos on my channel because that also helps me out a bunch. If you're looking for any personal readings, I do offer those. There's a link in the description below to my shop. But without further ado, that's all that I have for you today. Truly wish you the best. Bye-bye. Alright, pile 3, last but certainly not least. If you chose the growth card, then this is going to be the reading for you. Now, when I first saw the growth card, I was like, oh, how lovely, this person's like growing and changing. I love people that like grow and change every day because like I feel like it's a really good sign of people that want the best for themselves and those they keep around them, and so they're willing to grow and change. But I forgot that in order to grow and change, it takes like earthquakes, it takes tower moments, it takes upheavals, because you have to rid yourself of your old skin, you have to rid yourself of people, places, so that you can get to your best version of yourself. And a good analogy for this is like, I think for pine cones and certain trees, like manzanita trees, it needs a wildfire for the seeds to actually break open and start to germinate. And so basically for you, I feel like you are going through a wildfire moment, and it seems like everything around you might be a little bit crazy, like certain things will start to change drastically, but in the end, it's all bringing you to be bigger and better and happier version of yourself, a more honest and true person than you were being to yourself previously. Alright, so getting into it, I have 3 kind of drastically different messages to give you rather than like one big one. And the first one that I have for you is, I feel like you've been wanting to get out of your comfort zone regarding something. So think of whatever it is, like maybe you've been wanting to be more social, but for some of you, you might be social butterflies, and so it could instead be maybe you've been wanting to change what it is you're studying. Maybe you wanted a new change, a new job, maybe you wanted to move to a new place. Think of whatever it is that's been hard for you to get out of your comfort zone in. So what do you feel most uncomfortable in? And also what you've been wanting most but haven't been able to get that push of action to do it. Because I feel like the isolation card makes me feel like you've like suddenly been pushed into a place where you're out of your comfort zone, you don't know where you are, you suddenly feel really insecure and you're like not quite sure what's going on, what you're doing, you don't know what the next step is because this is new territory. And you've been really indecisive about leaving your comfort zone because there's been something that you really wanted. Again, it could be friends, a new job, a new place, but it requires leaving your comfort zone to do it. And so you're kind of in this limbo moment where you're staying at this place or in this friend group or in this major or this career where it's not really serving you anymore. And you're just kind of staying here, and Spirit is like, well, you can continue to stay here, but you know it's uncomfortable. You know that it's not really what's best for you, and you want it better for you. So Spirit's kind of like, you can stick here all you want, but you know the grass is greener on the other side, even though it takes like going out of your comfort zone. But when I see the Two of Swords, it's a reminder to, when I see the Two of Swords reversed, it's a reminder that in order to make the best decision possible, you need to move back a step and regroup at the Ace of Swords, the first sword card, to get the action needed to move forward, to upright the card. Whenever there's a reversed card, I think, okay, you need to go back a step to the previous card and learn the lesson of that card so that you can make your card not reversed anymore. So for you, in order to make this decision, you just need to take action. You know what action it is that you need to take, but you're scared of it because it's gonna make you go out of your comfort zone, and that's scary. I mean, that's scary for all of us. I'd be a hypocrite if I said it doesn't scare me too. So something I want to tell you is the fact that you're getting this message from Spirit, I feel like it's gonna end in the best possible way. And the thing that's making you stay in this kind of bad situation the most is fear that it's not gonna work out. But the fact that you're getting this message that it's time to leave your comfort zone is telling me the grass is greener on the other side. You are going to be so much happier once you do make this choice, and it's all going to work out. It's not going to crash and burn in flames. it's time to make that choice, make that decision, take that step, put yourself out there, because you are going to be so much happier after doing so. Like, you are going to get what it is that you've been wanting. It just takes taking that step. And that's part of your growth process. I think all of these cards are for the betterment of your growth, and that's why you chose this card. Maybe you were drawn to it. The next message I have for you is regarding this Eight of Wands that's clarified by love and caution. And I kind of have an interesting message for you. So this is going to be about, I definitely think that it's about romantic relationships. So if you're not into romance, it could just be that this section of the reading isn't meant for you. So if not, you can skip forward to the Tower and the Fear card. But for those of you that are interested in romance, I have to say that Spirit is not a fan of this new person that you're interested in. I feel like there's somebody that you're interested in or is interested in you that's trying to approach you, and it's almost like the way that I'm describing it is Spirit is like your dog, and you've brought this new person into your home, and the dog is like growling and barking and it doesn't like this person, and you're like, why don't you like this person? And then it turns out that person had like major red flags, and like the dog could just sense it, and Spirit is not a fan of this person that you like. And I feel like you like them, like this love card is you liking them, because there's so much passion in the beginning. Maybe there's lots of things happening. Maybe they've been taking you out to like these new coffee shops or like these new clubs or like whatever it is that you like doing, and they make you feel really excited about life. But it's kind of clouding your judgment, and you feel like you really like this person because in reality you just really like the clubs, you like the coffee shops. The person themselves are not all that great. And so you're being given this caution card to like slow down a bit, because this Eight of Wands is when things are happening really fast. Like, slow down, don't move in together. Look at this person and think, do I really like this person, or do I just like the dates that we go on? Do I just like the kinds of things that we do together? And if it's not romance for you, this could also just be like, maybe it's a new friend group or a new friend you've been hanging around with. Like, maybe it just seems like, oh, this is the person I've been looking for all my life. I'm having so much fun with them. I want to go on like a road trip across the country with them. But in reality, it's like, no, you just like them because you're doing all these fun things, and you're mistaking the adrenaline rush and the fun feelings for them actually being somebody that you like. So Spirit is kind of warning you, like, take a deeper look at this person. Look at what they look like behind the scenes. What do they stand for? I feel like they have a lot of red flags that you might not be noticing because you're looking through rose-tinted glasses right now. And everything looks pink, and you're not seeing that there's actually red flags all around them. So, yeah, I just kind of have this warning that this person, this friend, whoever it is that's in your life that you feel like crazy about, maybe you've been talking about them a lot, or you just constantly want to be around them, take a step back and really look at them as a person and say, is this person actually a good person, or do I just enjoy the things that we do together? And for some people, this message might not be for you. I mean, if you're looking at like your current partner who you've been with for like the past 2 years or however many years, and you're like, no, my person this doesn't really sound right for me. It could just be like there's somebody else in your life, or it could just be that, I mean, it's a general reading. Not every part is going to resonate with everybody. But I do have that specific message for people that are kind of like hanging around with somebody new, and they feel all this positive love and emotions for. In reality, things are moving a little bit too quickly, and you just like the passion. You love the feeling that they give you. You don't really love them. So watch out, because I feel like this person's not really good news. All right. Now finally, with the Tower reversed and Fear, I feel like I need to warn you, because the Tower card is about sudden upheavals, and it's also about breakdowns. It's about a sudden change that needs to happen. Like I said, the wildfire in order to grow. These Tower moments happen because we're not in the best place in our lives. Maybe we're not around the right people. We're not doing the right things, and a sudden upheaval needs to happen to get you on the right track. It's like, imagine you're on a train going down a track, and you need to like hit a ramp and like, oh my god, the train is being derailed. No, you needed to hop over to a different track because you were going down the wrong direction. And I think there's something that you've been really avoiding. You've been really fearing leaving your comfort zone. Like I said, maybe this is the same issue from before, but I'm here to tell you, like, this might also be a separate thing, but whatever it is that you're afraid of happening, it's gonna happen regardless of you being afraid of it and trying to stop it or not. Because I see the fear that you have for this thing, but it's time for you to accept that this change is gonna happen for a good reason. It might not even be something that you know about yet. Like, this could end up being like a tower moment that happens in the future, and like you aren't expecting it, and it feels like scary, you're afraid of where you're going, you're not sure, like everything feels like it's falling apart around you, but it's happening for a reason. But with the tower reversed usually talks about an upheaval that we've been avoiding, a breakdown we've been avoiding that's inevitable. So whatever kind of thing you've been afraid of breaking down, maybe you know that the place that you're living in, you're not meant to be there long term, and it's just a matter of time before you get kicked out of that place. Or maybe you're hanging around with a group of friends that aren't necessarily the best people, and like suddenly, like, you know that they kind of have been wanting to oust you or something, and it's gonna be inevitable. You're afraid of losing these people, you're afraid of losing this place, you're afraid of, maybe leaving behind a job or a school that you've been at for a long time. You're afraid because you're leaving your comfort zone. You've been here for a while, but you're kind of pushing off the inevitable, because when obstacles are placed in our path, they are placed there for a reason, because the direction that we're going in isn't the best direction for us. So whatever kind of breakdown or upheaval or sudden change you've been trying to avoid, or you've been really scared of happening, it might be best to just let it happen, go with the flow. It's like I'm imagining like a tsunami is coming at you, and you've been really afraid of it hitting you, so you're like trying to run at it and like jump over it, but it's better to just run the other way and let it push you along, because avoiding it doesn't make it stop. It's gonna happen anyway, but the best thing that you can do is go with the flow, let it happen, let the change happen, because it's happening for a reason. Even though I know it's scary, it's out of your comfort zone, it needs to happen. It's gonna happen whether you like it or not. I feel like I need to tell you, you don't have a choice in the matter. Like, you've been afraid, you've been putting this thing off, but it's gonna happen no matter what. And you just need to allow it to happen so that it can be done with. It's like if you're really scared of doing a presentation in class, and it's like you keep like scheduling your name for a later and later date, it's like if you just got it out of the way, you would stop fearing it, because you have to do it eventually. You might as well do it first. So of course this is going to be different for everybody. I could give you more and more analogies, but I feel like each person is dealing with completely different things. But that is the message that I have for you today. I feel like you're going through a big metamorphosis on every level. I feel like emotionally, physically, even the place that you might be living in right now, all of this is changing, and it's changing for the better. But right now you're going through wildfire season, so that it can clear away all the bad things and fresh new greenery can come up. And it might seem scary right now. You're getting out of your comfort zone, maybe cutting off people that shouldn't be in your life, but it's all happening for a good reason. So that is what I have to say for you, Pile 3. I hope you enjoyed your reading. I hope it resonated. If you enjoyed your reading, please think about leaving a like or subscribing. I post about once or twice a week. And if not, just feel free to check out any of the other videos on my channel. I have a bunch, and watching those helps me out a ton. So if you feel drawn to any of those, feel free to click on them. And if you want a personal reading, I do offer those. There's a link down in the description box below to my shop. But that's all that I have to say. I truly wish you the best, Pile 3, in everything that you do. Bye-bye.